we explore spirit, awakening, transformation, the unseen threads that shape our lives. If you're watching live or on the replay, grab a coffee, get cozy, and join us in the conversation. This show isn't about perfection, it's about presence. It's about showing up as we are, honoring our stories, and remembering that we are never walking this path alone, even on the days it may feel like it. Our guest today has walked through realms beyond the physical, out of body journeys, spiritual visions, connections with loved ones beyond the veil. She moves between worlds with a depth and intuition that few experience. And I'm very honored she's here today to share her energy and her story with us. Lainie, welcome to MJ in the Morning.
Lovely. Thank you for
How are
having
you?
me, MJ. I'm
You're
good. Yeah,
welcome.
I'm really good. Yeah.
And where are you joining us from again?
So in Brisbane, Australia, sunny Brisbane.
Oh, nice. So, yeah, it's quite early there for you.
Yeah, yeah, but that's okay. It's all good. I think it's, what is it, 4:15 or so in the morning.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, girl. So, Lainey, before we dive into anything really spiritual, I'd love to start with you, like kind of getting to know you as a human prior to all the awakenings, before
Okay.
all the out of body experiences, before the deep spiritual shifts. Who were you then, and what did the world look like through your eyes?
Okay. So I'm an only child. I was raised in Melbourne, in Australia,
Mm-hmm.
and to my mum and my stepfather. So my parents separated when I was about 3 years old. And there is another story there as well. But yeah, so growing up as an only child, we had pets. So one of them was a beautiful German Shepherd that we had, and a bit odd for maybe some people, but I used to class him as my brother. So
Ah.
fabulous dog. Yeah, he was amazing. But yeah, I had a neighbor next door who was a really good friend, still is, and our age, obviously, or my age. And yeah, so growing up, just normal schooling, state school, and our childhood. I think I travelled for the first time when this is overseas, when I was
Mm.
13. So, became worldly at that time, if you like, being 13. So lots of experience with just sort of seeing the world with my step father and my mum. So yeah, and then things just I guess started shifting a little bit along the road. So I remember one thing that I used to do as a child was just daydreaming out the window and all. So with my childhood, being an only child, I guess I just learnt to go within a lot, because you're
Mm-hmm.
bored at home. Obviously, there's no siblings to argue with or whatever. So I used to go within a lot, and I call that all the time. So I do still say for today that I have a love affair with myself, if you like. So I've always enjoyed myself. Yeah, so I've always loved my body. It's a little bit different, obviously, now after 2 kids, and I'm 54 years old, but I just accept where it's at, because I'm here with, 10 fingers and 10 toes, and so yeah, I just have this really good relationship with myself. Apart from the fact, obviously, when the ego loves to visit. So yeah, so that's a little bit about my past before these lovely experiences that would come in and still do on the odd occasion.
It's one thing when people can talk about like loving themselves. I think that that is like seriously one of the most important things that we could do, I think, for ourselves, right? Is just love us who we
Definitely,
are in every way and not worry so much about the
definitely.
outer exterior of us. I mean, everybody
Oh,
cares to
absolutely.
a point.
It's
I'm
yeah,
52
it's
and I
the
care.
outer
I'm like,
lens
no, I don't want to
definitely.
grow up. But
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
getting there.
yeah. No, the yeah, the outer is completely irrelevant, as far as the outside body. It's all what's going on inside. So that's where all the gold is. So yeah, for sure, for sure.
So, how did all the spiritual stuff start up for you? Was there a pivotal point in your life when you just decided that, or maybe you didn't decide, maybe it just came onto you where
Yeah, it just comes
you,
on. I
yeah.
think that Yeah, I think that it's because of the different episodes that I've had, and yeah, spirits that come and just intuition. So I'm highly intuitive. I'm actually a Master 11 in numerology, which I only just learned
Mm,
like I don't know, a year ago. So I'm like, oh,
mm-hmm.
okay. And it's like, well, that all makes sense now. And
Yeah.
yeah, so one of the biggest experiences I had, I guess, was when there was an episode where I was doing yoga. It was probably in my 30s, and I was doing yoga and I astral traveled. It was just
Oh,
the most amazing experience. And it's funny,
so,
like you talk to different people in your life along the journey. And this is one thing they say about awakening, because, I'm awakened. I class myself as that, and leaving the matrix and all. And
mm-hmm.
people just don't understand. They just don't get it. So when you're awakened and such and having these types of experiences, it's like you feel alone in a way. It's because some
Yeah.
people, they just don't understand. They just
Yeah.
can't relate. So whereas to me it's just so, well, it happened. It happened to me, so I believe it. Like, so
So
yeah.
how did it happen for you? Can you give us
Yeah,
a
so
step by, or not a step
this
by step, but a play by play?
Yeah, so
Sounds
this
interesting.
the astral travel, I'll tell you about that. Yeah, I'll tell you about that. So basically I was in yoga, this class. I'm in my 30s. There's probably it's just in a big exercise hall, like a room. And we all did the yoga. I was on my own, like I didn't have anybody with me, but there was about 20, 30 people in the room. So we did the session. It was all nice, and I'm by no means an expert in it, but it was just an enjoyable yoga session. And then at the end of it, the lady said, well, we're going to do a meditation at the end. So beautiful, because I do
Mm,
meditate like anywhere, anytime. I
yeah.
have for decades. It's just very natural to me. And anyway, so I'm lying there. I'm lying there meditating. So on the floor, I had my hands up. It was very intentional, that I'm meditating now and just enjoying it after the um, yoga. And lo and behold, all of a sudden, my spirit, the way I describe it is that the spirit peeled out of me. So it didn't pop out. It didn't, um, it's just it's weird. It's like even in the movies, or whatever it is, you watch whatever. It just peeled away from me. So what happened
Yeah.
was that it peeling away, and I'm realizing this, my eyes are shut, and I'm realizing this. So I went into a little bit of a panic, because
Oh,
hang on a minute, I'm separating here. That's what I literally found. So it was just so beautiful. I started to panic. No movement, no nothing, just lying there, but started to panic a little. And the spirit, my soul, said to me, it's okay, you're safe. I will
yeah.
return. Like, it's okay. I just want to go around the room and I'll come back. And with saying that, I just had this profound, profound peace and letting go. So, and with my eyes were shut, and I swear that I saw it float floating around the entire perimeter of the room, very graceful floating. It was like a white, soft white light, and it was me.
Mm,
It was the shape of me. Everything floated around the room. over everybody. So looking at everybody, then came back to me. And the way
Mm-hmm.
it peeled into me was the reverse of how it came out.
Interesting. Well, that's
Absolutely.
really cool.
And I left, yeah, I left that yoga session. Obviously, the meditation continued, but I just had this profound peace and this letting go. And it was like, when the lady, open your eyes and all that sort of thing. And I just had this calm, this peace, and this joy. And it was, I left, and I never forget walking back to my car thinking things like, what on earth just happened? But within a
Wow.
peace, within a knowing, just a knowing. You can't even describe. It's just this knowing. And yeah, that was that experience. I've had many others, but that was that one. And I would love to do it again. I've actually said to myself, like the soul, please, I would love to do it again. But I've not been able to do it since. But I have other
You know,
experiences.
I've
So
had an experience.
yeah.
Not out. Well, I think I've had out of body experiences, but this one experience was, excuse me, one experience was really crazy.
Mm.
I was going to sleep and I fell asleep, but I woke up, but I had my eyes closed, but I could see my entire bedroom with my eyes closed in the dark,
Wow.
but my eyes were closed. It was so
Wow.
strange.
It's the same. The eyes. Yeah.
Pardon? Isn't
That's
that
the
weird?
soul. Yep.
I was
Yeah.
just like, how am I
That's the
seeing
soul.
the room, my whole bedroom? And I remember just going like this and looking all around my room with my eyes closed. And I could literally see the entire
Wow.
bedroom. Blew my mind.
Wow.
Blew my mind.
Wow.
Yeah, just reminded me of that when you
Yeah,
said
it's
that.
incredible. Yeah, good, good. Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, as I say, I've got many stories. I've got a girlfriend. Many years ago, I was in my 20s, I think, and I was actually going through a breakup with
Uh-huh.
a prior boyfriend. And of course, you're talking to the girlfriend and you're crying, and all. And she was highly spiritual. And she actually said he was an Aboriginal, which was interesting, but she had one of her guardian
Oh,
angels was an Aboriginal. And she was very spiritual anyway, beautiful girl. And she said to me, I'm talking to her in the kitchen, and she is saying, all of a sudden, I'm crying and such, and all of a sudden she says to me, just don't look behind you. Okay. Like, my tears and
okay.
everything, and she's like, just
Why?
don't look behind you. We were good friends, and I said,
Hmm.
why? She said, just don't look behind you. Someone's there. No one's there, right? It's just her and I in the kitchen. So I'm like, okay. And anyway, she describes this person behind me who was a spirit. And this person,
Wow.
down to a T, died when I was 1. And this person was my mother's father, so my grandfather. And he came, and she said to me later, I'll tell you another little story around it, but she said to me later, apparently, because I'm still learning all this stuff, apparently if you experience or show any fear toward a spirit coming or such, they leave because they don't want to scare you. So they just
Hmm.
go. So, and that's why she said, that's why I said to you, don't turn around. So it's like the spirit, like they know that there's this sort of fear or whatever. So anyway, so she describes him down to a T, that I know it's him, but yet he died when I was 1. So I obviously don't remember him. And he just came through and said to her to tell me that I have been watching you all your life, and I'm here with you, and you will be okay.
Wow. Wow.
And yeah, amazing. Oh, I've just got goosebumps. So that, yeah, amazing. And my grandfather watches over me. It's amazing. My nan, his wife, She's passed away as well. She comes to me. There was a pivotal moment with her where she came to me once. I was actually getting ready to get married. Um, and she, oh, how do I put it? So I'm looking at wedding dresses and everything in Brunswick, in Melbourne, wedding
Mm-hmm.
dresses, the shops, all that sort of thing. And I go into one of the shops, and the only way I can describe it, and I mean this with respect and nicely, the only way I can describe it is that I was punched in the face, like punched in the body with her scent. Like it was just, um, I actually ended up crying in that shop. So,
Oh, wow.
because she and I were very close. She died in my early
Wow.
20s. Yeah, about 24, 25. So, yeah, yeah, amazing.
So, Lainey, did you have some kind of awakening or an NDE or anything or were you born with these gifts?
Yeah, I think that part of it born with them, but they've obviously just slowly come through as the years roll on. The biggest ones, as I said, is this last 5 years, which is where I've literally woken up. So, being that my husband passed away from cancer in 2020, and then we stayed in Melbourne another year, and then we moved to Brisbane, and that's these last 5 years has been the true awakening, like the downloads. They call it, like, now I understand it a lot more, where because I follow obviously YouTube and Instagram, and you listen to other people who have experiences and all. And
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that I've learned of late, and it's so true, is that the soul, the spirit realm, and everything leaves you breadcrumbs. And
Okay.
that's what I've found. They're little, like little intuition nudges, the nudges that move you
Yep.
along, but they're
Yep.
breadcrumbs. And that's literally, I mean, you do get the downloads. So I've had downloads in, the shower,
Mm-hmm.
um, things like that. These last sort of couple of years, probably the last year more so, because I've started a business about 15, 16 months ago. And
Oh, good. Yeah.
one of the biggest things I get is it just keeps saying, like, keep going. So the last year, it's just this soul that talks to me is just
Well,
keep
that
going. Like
is
whenever
weird
I
you're saying
feel,
that. I had the same
oh,
thing.
okay,
Not
whoa,
kidding. Not kidding.
wow,
So when I told you when we started,
wow,
that
yeah,
I got this whole thing about YouTube. Like it was really crazy how I started my YouTube because I
yeah,
normally would never do something like this, like ever. Anyway, so it was a couple months
okay,
into the
yeah,
YouTube. I'm in 4 months, almost 5 months. 5 months tomorrow, actually.
yeah,
And
yeah, well
I'm
done.
in the middle of the night. I woke up. I was feeling stressed out, and I was like in my head just saying like, "Oh, I don't know if I can do this." I get nervous. And it's hard to talk to people on
Yep,
screen sometimes. I mean, you practice and you get better, right? So I said in
yeah, yeah,
myself, am I cut out for this? In my head, I wasn't saying, wasn't bugging anybody. And I heard a voice, and a voice came over me like I've never heard before. Normally, I get voices come in on my right side, excuse me, kind of at the back.
wow,
I was sick, and I'm still
yep,
kind of got this little tickle. Pardon me.
yeah.
Anyways, and so it comes kind of in at this side usually. This one came over me. This one was loud, like very strong and powerful. And it said, "Don't stop, keep going." And I'm like,
Isn't that
okay.
gorgeous?
So
See,
what I
again, I've
did
got
was I just grabbed
goosebumps.
my blankets and I turned over on my side and I just said in my head, okay. And I stopped thinking about that again. I just kept going.
Do as you're
I
told.
just thought, yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. I'm like, hey, I wasn't saying that to
Wow.
anybody. Yeah, it came over and it was a voice that was like ever present, maybe I could say. I think it was,
It's a
I do
knowing,
think
isn't
it,
it?
oh, I know the feeling. And another thing they keep doing is they keep showing up in my eyes when I am trying to go to sleep. So it's balls of light and they just show up and it's
Wow. Well, that's your
unbelievable.
third eye.
It just doesn't
That's the
stop.
third
Sometimes I have to
eye.
say, stop. I have to go to sleep. It's so bright, Lainey, that it's like, okay, say you had your eyes open and someone was shining a light in your bedroom window. That's how bright it is. Yeah. And
Wow.
I actually have to stop.
That's
And then on the
fantastic.
bottom is gold, glittering gold. And then it just kind of moves in and hones out, moves in and it hones out. And then sometimes it's at the end, and I'll see a mandala sign that will just flash open. I'm like, oh my God, I got to go to sleep. Leave me alone. If it's not that, it's people, it's people's faces. Who knows?
Wow.
Yeah, so
So for me, it's
interesting.
interesting because sometimes, like, yeah, I see people, but not the faces.
Hmm.
But I'll tell you one thing about that because I recently did a meditation with a gentleman that I know, just a mentor, and it was incredible. This mentor, this was only like 6 months ago or such, and he took me through this meditation, literally online as well. So we had a Zoom meeting like this,
Yeah.
told me to close my eyes, all of that. And we went through this meditation, and all I can just say is that I managed to open. So my eyes are shut. It's a little bit similar to
Yeah.
what you were saying. The
Yeah.
eyes were shut, but this cloud, this all opening cloud came, and this white light in the middle of it that over time like got larger, and then it would get a bit
Oh.
smaller, would get larger, and then it sort of disappeared, and then it came back. And that was heaven. Like that was seeing through, yeah, the veil. Yeah. I mean, I like to
Right.
call
So
it heaven on earth. We don't need to go to heaven. We've got it here. So that's
exactly
one of my
right.
other little stories. But yeah, it was
So, Lainey,
just,
can you tell us how you communicated with your husband on the other side? That's so exciting to me.
oh, yes. Yeah. So there was a dream that I had, and yeah, this dream was incredible. So I'm walking along a street in the dream, and when you walk in real life, when you're walking along, and all of a sudden you see someone from the past, and it's like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, when you catch up and talk and all. Well, that's what it was like with the dream. So I'm in the dream, I'm walking along, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, that's Steve, like, my husband who'd passed. So anyway, we're walking toward each other, and then in the end, yeah, so we're walking toward each other, but I was so excited because it had been so long. I started running, like running toward him in the dream.
Oh, I bet.
So we run. Oh, I was running. And anyway, we just embraced. It was just a hug. It was, I literally felt it like in the dream. I'm in bed and I literally felt this hug. But there were weird things about the dream. So, and I'll tell you what they were. Now, my husband was a chef, okay,
Okay.
and all his life he loved being a chef. And he used to wear the chef clothes and runners to work.
Hmm.
But it was weird because the dream, so we're embracing. Now, when I look at him in the dream, he looked probably 20 years younger,
Right.
and he had the face was just so joyful and happy and relaxed. You know how people, when they're older, they get the lines and all. It was just like he was in his late 20s, just looked
Oh,
so
wow.
happy. He looked so joyfully happy. But we didn't say anything to each other, he didn't, maybe I said things to him, but he didn't communicate. He didn't say anything to me. So anyway, we're hugging, And I noticed that as I'm going toward him, he had like grocery bags, like bags,
Hmm.
right? So he always used to have, like, he, because we were married and had two children, and he would always come
Mm-hmm.
home with the groceries and things. So he'd always come with these bags. So anyway, he had these bags. And the other thing, when I woke up in tears, and I thought about the dream obviously over time and looking at him, and he had a really nice outfit on, like he was going out, nice jeans and all. But the thing that was weird, and I couldn't explain it to myself, was the shoes. The shoes were like a leather brown. And I'm like, he would always wear, when we went out, we would always wear black shoes. He would wear black
Mm-hmm.
shoes going out, or his runners to work.
Right.
But he had brown leather shoes. And after the dream, I'm like, that's really odd. And then I sort of realized afterwards, you know what I think it meant? Because I love to interpret dreams. I think what it meant is that he's now walking a different path, because the
Oh,
shoes
what a
brought up the, do you know what I mean? Like the shoes
yeah,
brought up the
completely.
difference in him. And it's the fact that he's now walking the different path. I've got shivers again. How funny.
Yeah, so those
So
shivers when you
yeah,
get them, that
that was
always
the,
means like a confirmation for me. How about for you?
yeah, same. And it's funny, I've
Right?
had it about 3 times since talking to
Yeah.
you. But it was, the dream was nothing short of spectacular. It was, oh, like just to feel him again, like in the dream, it was mind blowing. And then I had another episode once. I was actually in McDonald's where he came again, and I was in McDonald's, and I was at work and I had lunch break, and I went to McDonald's. With spiritual work as well, you're pulled to something.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
called to something. You're pulled to something. So this particular day, I'm pulled to McDonald's. No worries.
Mm-hmm.
So I go in there and I go to order, I get the food, and I look around to go sit somewhere. I'm on my own, and I was pulled to go to this corner table with two chairs opposite each other in the sunshine.
Interesting.
And I love the sun. I'm obsessed with the sun. So anyway, no worries. So I go and sit there because I'm, pulled to it. So anyway, I sit down. Now, my husband and I used to go on dates, everything, obviously, and we'd go and have a coffee date together, and we would sit opposite each other, just the two of us at a table in a cafe. So anyway, this time at McDonald's, he came and was in that chair opposite me in McDonald's, and I ended up in tears.
Oh,
The feeling of him there, and his message was, I couldn't see him. It was just this sense, I
I
couldn't
know
see
that
him in that
exact
particular
feeling.
episode, but yeah, but it was, and he said to me, oh, that's what it was, yeah, because he hasn't done it for a while. So he said to me, because I'd go through phases where obviously I'm distraught, and he used to say to me before he passed away, like, it'll be okay, like that he's leaving and all that, like it'll be okay, and you'll be fine, you're a strong woman,
Mm-hmm.
all those sort of discussions we had. But that time at McDonald's, because I think it was a transition. Yeah, I used to find, see, now I'm in such a good space. He doesn't do this much now, but I found that after he passed away, he would always come to me when I was like really flat, or uptight or anxious or stressed, or what am I going to do? All those sort of things.
Right.
So at this particular job, I was wanting to resign, and that's where I was just feeling a bit distressed with the job about resigning and such. And that was, yeah, he coming to me at McDonald's and saying, it's okay. Like he was always would just come and say that you're okay, it's going to be
Mm-hmm.
okay, you're okay.
Aw.
So that was another one. It's just incredible. Yeah.
I
We
know
saw
what
a
it
clairvoyant
means.
twice, actually.
Pardon?
Yeah, yeah, we've seen, yeah, I've seen clairvoyance. He's come to those sessions. I actually, with my son, he wanted to join me once. He was probably 14 at the time. He came to me in another little story at the clairvoyant, and Steve was there. My husband's name's Steve. Now, get this right. So, my husband had a car that I actually sold after he passed away. And this car, if you can imagine men, as we all know, beautiful men, the car was his baby, right? Baby. But this car used to have a light that would come on the dashboard saying there was an issue with the engine. But he'd got it all checked. This is before he passed away. He'd got it all checked out. There was nothing wrong with the engine. It was fine. Long story, but it was fine. But anyway, this light used to come on. Now, this particular day, we actually drove that car, like in memory of Steve, we drove this car, my son and I, to the clairvoyant. Now, this clairvoyant doesn't know anything about the car, doesn't know anything about this little light and such.
Right,
Anyway,
right.
we're listening to the clairvoyant. She says that, yes, my husband's there and this, that, and the other. And two things happened. So, one, he said toward the end of the reading, he said, oh, and let Lainie know, like let them know that the light in the car is still going on. Like the clairvoyant, how would she know that? And I'm
There's no way.
and I said to him, it was so cute. I said to him, yep, I know the light's still on and it's all good. So there was that one. And then the other one during that same visit earlier on was my son used to play the piano and Steve used to teach him. My husband was a pianist, but like an amateur, but he loved the piano. And he used to teach my son the piano. And there were, over the years with learning and everything, Steve at times used to say to Jackson, my son's name is Jackson, Jackson, don't be so hard on yourself. Like, you're learning, right? Don't be so hard on yourself. Anyway, this clairvoyant, it was just insane. It was so gorgeous. My son's sitting next to me, and Steve comes through and he's saying, whatever, and all these things are happening. And then all of a sudden he says, don't be so hard on yourself, to Jackson. Like, it was
Wow.
amazing. Yeah, amazing. So Jackson, like, just obviously looked at me, and because again, how would the clairvoyant know that?
There's no
And
way.
the fact that Steve had used the exact same words. How do they know that? Like, it's just so real. And there's, obviously people out there in this beautiful world that, don't agree and don't understand, but it's real.
It
It's
is real,
real.
isn't it? And I've had many, many, many,
Yeah,
many
absolutely.
experiences like you're speaking of. I could always feel
Yeah.
my ex, he was always around, always, always, always. I think it was about a year. I think he was, well, it felt like he was there for a long time. And then even when I was driving, he was bugging me while I was even driving. He would like tap me on the shoulder and
Wow.
stuff, and it would be like I'd look, and you'd adjust your rear view mirror and you're just like no one's there, and then just like, oh my god, like I know it's you, but I could feel the presence. And so I could feel the presence
Yep.
in my home when I would be writing or doing anything. He would come up beside me, and it was so unbelievable. I could go on about that, but I've had that my whole entire life. But one thing I
Wow.
wanted to ask you is, what do you feel like? Why do you think that this is all like such some big mystery? Do you ever think about that? Because I always think,
Yeah, I
why
think
why
that
does it have to be like this?
yeah, I think that for me, like, I know that I'm called and I've been awakened, with the things that I've been learning of late, especially. It's this collective, it's the people, the souls that are waking up, and to actually, because my mission, I know my mission here, and I have for years, but I guess that you um, don't listen to the intuition because of this, ego. So, but basically, I just feel that, we're shifting into a new earth, and
Yeah.
we need to, as a society, need to wake up, like you know, one of my biggest things, like especially over the last few years, is that I would say it to people, like, because I'm very empathy. I have a lot of empathy. So yeah, just trying to get people to look within, to look in the mirror and look within, like I always talk about, that you say that you have problems and all of this, but there are always solutions there, but all you have to do is look in the mirror, because the problem and the
Right?
solution are looking straight at you.
That's
Yeah.
right. I think so too.
So,
I had
yeah, it's all
someone in the
within.
comments said that they totally resonate with the pulls. So, like, I resonate
Yes.
with that too, right? Let's talk a little bit
Yes.
about that because I completely
The pull.
follow those nudges, those pulls and I've done it my
Yes.
whole life. And it sounds like you have as well. I mean, okay, I'll
Yes.
be
Yes. Well,
honest.
I have
There's
a little
times in my
story with the
younger life
pull.
when I didn't, you know, because I was like,
Oh,
I make my
same.
own
Same.
decisions. You know what I mean? But other, and
Oh,
then those were
same.
always,
Absolutely.
right? The wrong decisions when I didn't follow.
Absolutely. But
Yeah.
that's exactly, that's the thing. And it's like when it's funny, I had just a little thing the other day, and I was in the car, and it was like a quick story. I was in the car and I listened to the intuition, and it said with my daughter getting in the car, don't give the drink to her because she'll spill it. Right? That was what my intuition said. I ignored it. I gave my daughter the drink in the car and she spilt it. It was just so, she didn't spill it much, but it was just so funny. But I have this other pool story, which was last Christmas actually, and this was really profound as well. I loved this. Oh, so I'm very spiritual. I over the years, I'm very gravitating toward Buddhism, right? So I'm not, I say this because, I'm not a Catholic, I am Christian, but I don't really practice it. I'm more Buddhist, right? And more meditation, all that sort of work. And I just want to lay that down first. So last Christmas, my children and I went overseas
Mm-hmm.
and for a 6-week holiday. And part of that trip is that we went to the Vatican. So,
Oh,
and it was
wow.
beautiful. It was the first time, well, the second time for me, but the first time my
Mm-hmm.
kids went to the Vatican. Now, we're leaving the Vatican. I'm talking about this pull. We're leaving the Vatican. And remember, I'm going within more, I'm spiritual, I'm learning my path
Mm-hmm.
now that I'm a widow, all of that. So we're going to walk up this street. And all of a sudden, the kids are ahead of me walking, and we're definitely going up this street. We're not going anywhere else. We're leaving the Vatican and we're going up here. And all of a sudden, I get this pull to go down a side street. And again, I'm like, oh, like, with your intuition, it's like you have to action it straight away, obviously, with
Right?
intuition, but Paul said to go down this side street. And I'm like, oh, we're going down this street, this main street. And this Paul was adamant, like this voice, go down the side street. Okay, you know how sometimes you're in that. Okay, so anyway, I yell out to the kids. I yell out to the kids and I say, guys, I'm just going down this side street, but I'll come straight back. And they're like, why? Like, again, we're going down this street, right? And they're like, why? And I said, I don't know. I've just got to go and have a look down this side street. Anyway, they said, yeah, no worries. We'll be in this shop. That's fine. So I walk around this side street, right? And as I didn't even get in the side street, but as I'm walking toward it, so I'm separating from the kids, going toward this side street, a nun walks toward me, and we just absolutely connected. So this nun looked at me and I looked at her, and the smile that she gave me and the smile that I obviously gave back to her. And in that moment, I had this profound, again, peace and a profound respect, because she's a nun. I've got goose pimples again. How funny. All over. Woo! I had, it's still going on. Wow. So I had this profound peace and respect. And we didn't say anything to each other, but I nodded to her. Oh my gosh, it's going crazy. Just this
Oh, you got it.
absolute respect. Yeah. And that was the message. So the message was that the nun saying to me, and with this joyous piece of a smile over her face, that you're okay. Like, yeah.
Oh,
Did you know that I have this gravitational pull to cemeteries as well? Which is
no.
always like I have this love of cemeteries. Yeah. Every time I go
You know
past
when you
cemeteries,
say
I get
that,
this
sorry,
profound,
Lainey, you know how you say
yeah,
cemetery? You say
yeah,
cemetery, right? So where I'm from in Canada, we say
cemetery.
cemetery, right? Well, this was, and
Oh,
I don't mean to
cemetery.
cut you off, but because you said that, like
That's
I
okay.
literally was sent home from school because I refused to say the words properly. So I would always say
Oh,
cemetery. And they'd be like, where are you talking? Like, why do you think it's said like that? Like, I mean, this was a long time ago. No internet. But I didn't have any TV. Nothing. I don't know, but I
yep.
would say all these words like this, and I was actually suspended from school once for not talking proper English. Yes. And
Isn't
it
it
was weird.
crazy? Because this is the thing.
Yeah,
It's
you just
crazy because,
reminded
like,
me of
I'm an
it.
Australian.
Yeah.
Wow, I triggered you. It's like I'm an Australian, and that's how we say it. Like, that's so weird. Like, you got like, I mean, you talk differently to me because it's the culture of where we've been raised. It's so bizarre.
Like, you know
Anyway,
what got me years
I
after
love.
that was
I'll
thinking,
definitely
like, how
just.
do you know I'm not raised by someone that speaks like that? You
I
know what
mean,
I
you can
mean?
still understand
Like,
the word.
I
Well, it's like
know,
you guys. I mean, I think you guys say ketchup, don't you? Do you say ketchup?
ketchup? What'd you say?
Yeah.
Ketchup?
Do you guys say ketchup? Yeah. For sauce?
Yeah, for
Yeah,
like,
because we say tomato sauce.
oh, you say tomato
Tomato
sauce?
sauce.
Oh, yeah, we say ketchup.
Yeah,
So I'll say
ketchup.
sometimes, let
But
me
you know
just
what I
put
mean?
this
It's
on
just different,
screen.
like, words. It's
So
like,
this
whatever.
says, Toby says, it's always sometimes a nudge or a whisper for me as well. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Isn't it?
So I can tell you another little quick story about that, actually, or nudge or a
Mm-hmm.
whisper. So I'll tell you something else, but just quickly, that cemetery, I have this profound pull to cemeteries as well, where I get this profound peace and respect for cemeteries. I love them. Anyway, as far as that whisper, I'll make a comment with that. And I actually learnt this from Oprah Winfrey, believe it or not, many years ago.
Oh.
And she said, and it's so true, the soul whispers. So the ego is very loud and sharp, but the soul is knowing and very quiet. It's a whisper. But
Mm-hmm.
if you don't listen to the whisper, this is to everybody. If you don't listen to the whisper over time, and if it's definitely your calling and such, over time it gets louder to the point that I have a little story that I
Mm-hmm.
like for 10 or so years I had wanted to move to Brisbane, and I talked to my husband about it, and we ended up deciding that maybe in retirement we'll move to Brisbane. So no worries. So anyway, with him passing away and such, during all of that time, I remember I used to sit in our bedroom, obviously distraught, and upset. My ear's ringing now. They say that
Oh,
my ear
yeah.
is ringing. They say that's another thing for the soul.
Yep.
Anyway, and I'm in the bedroom, and the soul, I say, was screaming at me to move to Brisbane. So it was like over all those years of not actioning it, like there was always this whisper to move to Brizzy. We call it Brizzy. And of course, I'm not like I'm talking about it with my husband and trying and everything, but of course, that's what I get confused about with the soul and such. In fact, I might
Yeah.
bring this up. People might be able to help me. I
Yeah.
always get
Or
confused
maybe they
because the
resonate with it.
soul wants this, yeah, like the soul wants
Mm-hmm.
this done, whatever. But what about your situation in life where you can't do that? So, for instance, my soul was saying to move to Brisbane, and yet I
Mm-hmm.
spoke to my husband about it, and we're a happy marriage. We are, there was four of us, the two kids, we're all happy, everything's great, but he
Mm-hmm.
didn't want to move to Brisbane. So how is a human being, I'm asking, up above, how is a human being when we get a pull or a nudge and yet you can't act on it? Does that make sense? So
Yeah, I understand that
yeah, and it's like,
because, well, because you're
do
in,
you know what I mean? Because sometimes you can't.
see, I get that too, but I'm like a gypsy at heart, I think.
Yeah,
I think I am. I'm a gypsy
yeah,
inside. Yeah, kind of. Well, this is the longest I've been anywhere, and it's been quite a while. So, but I am kind of have a gypsy soul. Um, but I understand
okay.
what you're saying because basically he doesn't want to go and you're with your mate and he doesn't want to go, but your soul is calling to go. So how do we
It's
navigate that?
calling.
Yeah. So I want, have you
But
ever
then isn't
thought
it
that
interesting?
maybe, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was thinking if have
I
you
was just
ever
going to say it's
thought
interesting because
maybe
now that,
we have a lag. Sorry guys, we have a lag going on here.
oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, you go ahead.
I was just going to say that isn't it interesting how that now that I look back, that's what I mean when I was saying before that now everything makes sense. Obviously, I did not want my husband to die, but I
Yeah, of
now
course not.
know why and that he had to for my soul's journey.
Growth and
That the
journey.
clairvoyant, yeah, the clairvoyant actually said, she said that you both knew that he was going. And it's crazy that she said that because for many, many years, I had this knowing, again, this soul knowing that the kids and I will be fine, but I could never get him in that feeling.
Right.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
And then it's
That's
like now
that
the
was a
picture of me,
knowing.
because now I'm in
That's
Brisbane.
a knowing.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And I
I just
tried to
wanted
get
to
him
say
in the knowing, but I
about that other
yeah.
thing is, did you ever think that maybe when your husband didn't want to, but maybe it was being a breadcrumb was being dropped,
Yeah,
for you
absolutely.
to have to, well, basically you're able
Absolutely.
to do what you will now.
Yeah, well, it's interesting too. Like I actually met my husband when I was 37. So I had always had a life prior to him that I was independent, all of those things. Um, even to the point that I said to him over the time, we had a great marriage, but it was like, I actually don't need you. I want you. So, and
That's
I think that
nice.
that's a real gift.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a real gift for people in relationships. You talk about narcissistic or toxic relationships and be in a space like with your soul, with connecting within, to be in a space that you don't need that person. You actually don't need
Mm-hmm.
anybody because it's all within
No,
you, like God, the universe, whatever is within, but you
that's
want
right.
to be with that person.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Interesting, isn't it? Is
yeah.
I find that life is
Yeah.
very interesting, just how it throws us curveballs and leaves us breadcrumbs. And then also, like when you look on back on your life, like so in my case, I look back on my life and
Mm.
it's like, wow, I had so many spiritual connections, but I never knew what it was for. There was never any rhyme or reason. There was nothing.
Okay.
Now I know why.
Now,
Now I
same,
know why. It's
same.
so interesting
Now
when you
it's like
do
a
take the
jigsaw
time.
puzzle.
Oh, I know. But see, when
Yeah.
they started doing that with the whole YouTube thing, I literally was getting mad. Like, why do I have to like try to find the puzzle pieces? Instead, why can't you just tell me and I'll do it? Do you know what I mean? But they can't do that. But still, I
They
figured it
can't
out.
do that.
Yeah. thing is that you
Yeah,
have to,
and that's
they
the
can
thing
give you
with
the
me
nudges, the
too.
pulls. Mm-hmm.
Oh, let me just do this because I've just had a realization just now. Because I've got this new business, I went
Yes.
through a period of thinking, I just want someone to sit with me. Like, this is my office at home here, right? I just want someone to sit with me and show me. Because, of course, you get frustrated at times with
Oh, of
tech
course.
stuff, right? I just want someone to show me. Like, how hard is it? Like, and you're fighting, they actually say with manifestation and such, not to resist, not to force, not to fight it. Anyway, and it's literally just this last week or so that everything's just flowing. And I actually now communicating more with ChatGPT. That's why I mentioned it before, because I now have ChatGPT absolutely walking me through all these steps and, push this
Oh, there
button
you
and
go.
do this and do that. And I'm like, oh, like it's all working. And again, it's like the universe or the soul is like, Lainie, it's all inside you. You don't need, this is what I've learned. You don't need people to teach you, and it's just a matter of connecting within and all the solutions come. Like, I've just, again, now, like,
I like
it's
when you said that. I
all
got
inside you. Like,
goosebumps.
yeah. And it's like the other day I learned
Oh, I
something
like that.
about,
Toby said,
yeah,
it also oh, sorry, I put the wrong one up. Oops. Of course I
yeah,
did,
that's
because I'm not
okay.
wearing my glasses. She says, how does this go? There we go. Show on stream, this one. Oh, why is
Same
it not
one.
allowing me?
It's the same.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
Maybe
there it
it's
is.
for the
Yeah, correct.
future, right?
Correct. Correct. Oh, absolutely, Toby. It's for the future, because the thing is, it's like it's the breadcrumbs that leads you right to the end. Say, I don't know, but say I'm going to die when I'm 94. I tend to always say 94, which is interesting.
Oh
And it's
gosh.
really interesting too that I've even had palm readers say to me, and clairvoyant, that you have a long life. Isn't that funny? I always say 94.
I have
How
a really
bizarre.
long
Anyway,
lifeline.
so it's same. When you look at your palms, I have this, yeah. Anyway,
Do
so
you have
yeah,
the
it's the
M's
breadcrumbs
too?
that lead you. Yep, same.
Do you have the M's? Yeah, I
Same.
do
And
too.
when you join, I don't know if you can, but when you join them, there's that moon.
And you got the crescent
Oh,
moon?
that's right,
Yeah.
the crescent moon I've got. Look at this. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. The crescent moon. I couldn't remember
Isn't
the
that
first
something?
word, but I've got two M's as well. And
Really?
I've got in one of my lines that there would be two like big shifts, which of course is my husband and the abandonment, with my
Where do you find
parents
the
and
shifts
and
on your
even
hands?
I found it. So there's a shift in here. It's hard to see, isn't it? There's a
It
shift in
is.
here,
Oh, okay.
and that's like a big shift in life, which is literally what I'm going through now. This last 5 years, the shift has been, and the fact that I've left the workforce, like I'm never ever getting a job again, ever, because of this business. And I'm now working the business all around my home life, with being at home, which is ideal because I'm a widow with two teenagers. They're 15 and 16. And I've often obviously said to them, do you want me to get work? Or do you want me to be at home? And, it's such a stupid question, because of course kids, we're actually very close, we've always
Right.
been good. So they said they want me at home. And another little side note with that too, when I moved to Brisbane, I thought, I'm going to have to go back to work at some point, which of course, a year in living in Brisbane, I then went back to work. Now, a quick story, I had 3 jobs in a space of probably about 13 months, and all 3 of them flunked. I resigned from 2 and one of them they let me go after a month because they basically made a mistake. They shouldn't have hired me. So the last job was in psychology because I'm
Oh,
all in
wow.
medical. And after that was, yeah, I resigned and 2 weeks later started the business.
Wow.
So it's all the breadcrumbs. It's all the, so again, it's the calling that my
Sounds like
message is
divine
to
timing,
share with
too.
the world. Yeah, yeah. And I'm still learning, I'm still
Of
on the
course.
journey of helping
We're all
others and
learning.
just
We're all here to
sharing.
learn.
Yeah,
No one knows everything.
yeah.
No one's going up on a pedestal today. We're all on this
No,
and in this
no,
together,
absolutely not.
right? It's like if we could
Absolutely.
just help each other awaken, and I think the world would be a better
It's
place if we
exactly
all
right.
helped each other walk the right way.
Exactly.
Well, when people are ready to,
Exactly.
I should say. You can't
Exactly.
make anybody, right?
Well, that too. Yeah, I think that's
Mm-hmm.
another thing I've really learned over the years as well, because again, I'm very much a nurturer and I love to help and
Nice.
support people and such. But one thing I've learned as well is that they are on their own journey. Some people will not wake up
Yes.
because it's not their time. It's not their soul journey in this
Mm-hmm.
lifetime. So, and yeah, I've come to realize that there's people that, like, I have a girlfriend at the moment that she's going through a really nasty, you know, beginnings of a separation. She's got 3 children,
Mm.
all that really nasty. And I try to help her, and she comes to me and all, but I've come with this awakening, because you got to preserve your own energy. And I have given her what I can, but I can't help. It's her journey, like her soul journey. She has to
Mm.
learn
That's
her
right.
own messages through her own soul that's communicating to her. It's
Yeah.
interesting. It's really, because of
Yeah,
course, many years
that's
ago, I
true.
wanted to, help the whole planet, you know, but you
Hmm.
just can't.
I
Yeah.
um I protect my peace now, really, like, big time.
Same.
I protect my peace.
Same.
I am much of a, I'd hate to say it, but I'm so much of a hermit. Oh my God. I like being at home.
Same.
I'm busy all the time. I am busy, busy, busy.
Same.
I mean, last night my husband and I were making silicone molds. So that was fun.
Okay.
um, just doing those, but we're always doing something. I'm always doing something at home. And then now you
Yeah.
throw this podcast in the mix, and now it's like, wow, I'm really busy. So it's so much fun, though. And you meet
Yeah.
people like yourself that are
Yeah.
kind of on the same wavelength as you. And it like feels really, really good
You
when you
can
get to
feel
meet
that.
people.
Yeah.
I know. I love it. And that's
Yeah.
where we're building a tribe of people, and we're gaining friendships, and we're finding the
Yes.
people that fit with us in where we are right now in our
Yes.
lives, right?
And
Oh.
understand and
Mm-hmm.
resonate. It's like, 'cause sometimes, how sometimes you think, maybe I am a bit loopy, a bit
I
odd.
thought that many
But
times too.
no, no. Yeah. But no, because when you speak to others, it's like, yeah, it's the same. Like, I have the same. And yet there's so many people that just don't, as I said before, don't resonate. So I'm the same. Like, I stay at home. I actually, like, even if I can give a little bit of advice to the audience,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Please do.
I haven't watched the news in years. I do not
Me
watch the
either.
news. I only, yeah, I only feed my mind positivity. So all
Oh
my
my gosh, me
YouTube,
too.
TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, yeah, it's all positive mental work. All of it,
This
personal
year
development
is
work.
14
Um,
years for me and my husband without television. Like, we were done, like, done.
oh,
Yeah, we
I
control what goes
congratulate
in here,
you.
right? No, it's not good for you. No.
Wow,
Yeah, I
it's
don't
not
like, and the
good.
news can just beat it. I don't need it. It's just full of fear, and you know what? We don't need that in our
Yes.
lives. We got enough going on. We don't need someone else pushing fear
Yeah,
and pushing,
100%.
an agenda is what I'm not into. So
Yeah,
I'm into love and
yeah,
light, waking
exactly.
people up,
So
helping
yeah,
them walk, building a path, and all that. That's what I'm into. I enjoy that. I like talking about that. That's how I love to spend days, and I feel you're the same way.
same, 100%, 100%. And life's so
Lainey,
much better for it.
right? Lainey, why don't you talk to us about
Yeah.
what you do? Because,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I'd
So
love to know
my
that.
business, it's called Proactive Transformation. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
So
you bet.
it's called Proactive Transformation. And I do, yeah, podcast, public speaking. I'm getting a lot involved with affiliate marketing and digital products. But on the side, all with coaching, mentoring, and just helping midlife women. So midlife
Oh,
women tend to connect to me a lot more, where they're transitioning from some sort of identity shift. So, what with whatever it is, any sort of loss, I've had abandonment loss, and I've had grief loss, a different loss, obviously, with my husband, experienced anticipatory grief. So I have a lot of experience in that space.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, basically just helping women to, yeah, talk like you and I are today, and just
it's
show them
fun.
that there is a better side, and teaching you how to go within, teaching you how to look in the mirror and love who you see, and just connecting with that soul, and which is your journey. One of my things I do love to say is, live your life your way, live your dreams your way. So yeah, so I'm just all
I
about
agree with
helping
you
women with that.
100%. So, what is it that you exactly do?
Yeah. Yeah, so I do Zoom meetings, online meetings. I use WhatsApp. I'm into public speaking, the podcasting, and yeah, all those sort of spaces. So, and as I said, with digital products, so you can see me. I'm on TikTok, although between you and I'm giving it a little bit of a break at the moment.
Mm,
But
mm-hmm.
on Instagram, YouTube, I'm just starting up. I am on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook. So you can see me in those spaces, and just sharing positivity, sharing personal development tips. And I'm also a big one for teaching about the ego and the soul, and the
Ah,
two voices that happen. So I'm very much, I've done podcasts, like in the past. I've done another one where I've got clips from and such, and
mm.
pardon me. Um, yeah, I just talk about the ego, even with myself. Like when it comes up, I'll actually tell you, like, oh, there's the ego. And I'll tell you what it's thinking and all of that, so that you can sort of be self aware, and teaching you how to be self aware and how to get still, so that you can hear it yourself. So, because so many people sadly are unconscious, really, they're just not realizing what's going on in
Ego is
here.
huge.
So,
It is such
it's,
like ego needs to go. If you're walking a
yeah,
spiritual
it's the
path,
conditioning.
you
But the
you
thing
can't
is,
have both.
yeah, but it's interesting, because what I've learned is that you can't, like, you do have to have the ego. You do have to, because it's the thing that keeps you safe, but it's
Ah,
learning to, yeah, you do need it. I've learned that. You
that's
do need the
interesting
ego,
take
but you
on
need
it.
to, yeah, yeah, because it keeps you safe. Because
Well, I'm
ultimately,
thinking
the ego's
ego in the
role is
way
to keep
of,
you alive.
egotistical, um, living life by your ego, always worried about money, looks, car, all
Yeah,
the stuff, all
not
the,
yet.
not that
Yeah,
stuff. So, but this part of the ego you're speaking of is a good thing for us to have because it keeps us
yeah,
safe.
yeah.
Awesome. Cool.
Correct. And that is even with those topics that you just mentioned, like I don't have enough money, or I don't look good, or whatever it is. that's that you've got to accept all of that, like going within and learning with your soul and such. It's all about self acceptance. So, the world, everything in the world is opposites, the yin and yang. Everything is
Right.
opposite. You're going to get good with bad, dark and light, hot and cold. Everything's
Right.
opposite. So you need the ego, like we need it to be alive. So, but the thing is, and what I do is I validate it. So, and it's incredible because a lot of people get upset because they're like, I just hear negative all the time and I'm always whinging and complaining and all the rest of it. That's just all ego. When a
Ah.
comment comes up like this, oh, this looks terrible on me, or oh, my hair is awful, whatever it is, you just say, oh, ego, hi. Like this is what I do. Hi, thanks for keeping me safe. Thanks for popping in and letting me know. You're letting me know. I appreciate you for letting me know, but it's all good. My hair is actually fine. And it's amazing when you do that, the ego, no word of a lie, becomes silent. Try that. It actually
Lainie,
becomes silent. So when you, yeah,
have
absolutely. I
you
promise you a
always been
thousand
like
times over.
that? Have you always been this way with
Um,
the ego, or is this something because I noticed that since I've gotten older, my
yep,
ego for those things has shut down a lot. It's not something I'm worrying about
good.
as much. Do you know what I mean? I
Yeah,
don't
it
really.
becomes, I think that as you get older, because I'm still on that path, I'm still learning it. And I agree with you 100% because it does get a lot quieter and it's in the background, but it will always be there. It's always
Mm-hmm.
going to be there. So, because it keeps you, it's like, if you're going to go and abseil, or you're going to go and whatever, you're doing something that's going to be scary. It's the unknown. So the ego comes up to say, oh, do you really want to do that? Like you're going to jump out of a
Ooh.
plane, whatever, you're parachuting, whatever it is. But its role is to keep you safe, to keep you alive. So, but yeah, definitely as time goes on, I can definitely silence it very quickly now by simply just validating it and giving it
Mm-hmm.
compassion. Like, I know that you're keeping me safe. I appreciate you telling me that, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
safe. It's all good. And then it just
Mm-hmm.
it just like turns off.
That's a good tip. That's a really
Yeah,
good tip. So,
yeah,
Lainey, are you like a life coach then?
yeah.
Is that
Coaching, mentoring.
I
Yep,
see.
definitely. Life coach.
I
So,
see.
it's for me. It's all lived experience. So I don't have a formal qualification. It's all just pure lived experience. So, and just with these spiritual experiences and such that I've had as well. So, um, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, coaching, definitely. I've had many people over my years that I've coached, and yeah, I'm just pivoting all of that now into the business.
I love it. Lainey, do you think that you could give us
Yeah,
your links so that we can then put them in
sure.
description of this live feed?
Sure. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, let's do, how
You
do
can
I do
just
that?
you
Let's
can
have a
email them
look.
to me actually if you
I'll
want.
email because there's a
Yeah,
few.
it'd be easier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I have a stand
If
store as well. So,
oh cool.
yeah, stand store, I'm getting
Good.
that up and running as well. So, yeah, email, lots of different ways. So, yeah,
It was
absolutely.
so
I'll
fun
send them to
having you
you.
here. It was so much
Yeah,
better
thank you for
doing a
having
live with
me.
someone than doing it by myself. It was great. It was fun. Well,
It's good
not in the
fun.
beginning because we had to stop, start, stop, start because I couldn't get YouTube to actually join the feed. But that's okay. So we started late. But now I know that it actually has to be manually turned on every time, so it just doesn't come on its own.
Ah, got
That's
you.
what it was. So up at the top, it shows you got to turn it on. It's like, okay, but you know that that's what I'm going to do. So why not just leave the toggle on, right?
Oh,
Makes no
okay.
sense,
So maybe, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that's good. It's got, you say you got the solution. Perfect.
right? So I'm happy for that.
Yeah,
Lainie, I just want to thank you for sharing your heart with us today. Your story reminds me that the deepest losses can be the biggest gateways. That's what that reminds me.
absolutely.
And right? And to everyone watching, thank you for
Absolutely.
spending the morning with us. Take care of your soul today and on through the week. Lainey, do you have anything you'd
Thank
like
you.
to say?
Just very grateful for everyone that joined, and grateful to you, MJ, for
Yeah.
having me on board
This is,
here.
yeah,
And I've sincerely loved it. Yeah, loved
this
it.
is
Very
just the
grateful.
beginning.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, we are out and we will see you, or I will see you all in the next one. And thank you for watching today's MJ in the morning. See you in the next one.
Thank you.